Welcome to the online CPD presentation for Staron Solid Surfaces from Blackheath Products. Blackheath are one of the largest distributors of decorative sheet materials in the UK and Ireland. Many of these products are exclusive to Blackheath. This CPD covers one of them, Staron Acrylic Solid Surface. Our warehouse facility is based in Halesowen in the West Midlands, and that gives us the opportunity to give demonstrations of fabrication techniques, but also to give the evidence of the high levels of stock that we carry, ensuring continuity and reliability of supply. The staff at Blackheath have a wealth of experience, years of knowledge, and we are available to offer technical support and advice for any of the applications that you may consider to use the product for. We are here to be your partner in architecture and design. Staron Acrylic Solid Surface is manufactured in South Korea using highly sophisticated technology and is distributed exclusively in the UK and Ireland by Blackheath Products. Each sheet is sanded and calibrated for consistent thickness on both sides. No other producer does that. This is very good when using a flatbed machining centre for intricate routing and other machining. The standard stock finish on the decorative face of each sheet of Staron is sanded to around 800 grit. This, along with the calibrated sheets, giving consistent thickness, saves lots of time on site with both installation and sanding. A large selection of the Staron range of decors are certified to Euro Class B fire retardancy. This is equivalent to BS 476 Class O. Both sides of the sheet, unlike a lot of other solid surface materials, are suitable for a decorative finish. The standard thickness is 12 mm thick, but we also offer a selection of decors that are 6 mm thick, ideal for wall panelling. There's a large selection of cast sinks and bowls, and we can also offer bespoke column match sinks. And we have extensive UK stocks in the West Midlands. The history of Staron. In the 1990s, Staron was first produced in sheet form, although the company who manufactured it, Cheel Industries, who were the parent company of Samsung, were producing solid surface for other manufacturers prior to this. Also in the 1990s, they launched a range of sinks and bowls when they purchased the technology and experience of leading solid surface manufacturer Shock. In the 2000s, they improved thermoforming. They changed the chemical mix of the material. Thermoforming is the technique of heating, forming and bending acrylic solid surface into almost infinite options of shapes. Also in the 2000s, they introduced a range of translucent decors which are used for backlighting, and often company logos, signs, etc. Can be produced using this technology. In 2011, Blackheath Products were appointed as the exclusive UK and Ireland distributor. 2014, driven by the fact that we supply lots of airports with material for furniture such as security compliance and check-in desks and wall panelling, we submitted some sheets for ASIAD blast approval, which is specifically for airports, and passed with flying colours. Not only with the 12mm, which is the specification, but also the 6mm sheets, and we can provide certification for that. In 2015, Staron launched a range called Supreme of veined decors, which give the appearance of a marble or a granite and are very, very realistic. What we will cover in this CPD is the history and creation of solid surface material, the details of material manufacturing, material features and benefits, different fabrication techniques, use and care, countless applications, and sustainability. Acrylic solid surfacing. So, the history of solid surfacing. In the 1960s, the earliest version of acrylic solid surfacing was developed and launched in the USA. In the 1970s, it was introduced to the UK and mainland European markets. In the 1980s, improved fabrication and sinks were developed, and in the 90s, Staron and other brands were launched. In the 2000s, thermoforming and backplating became increasingly popular, and it's now established as a popular surfacing option for all commercial and domestic applications. The size of the UK solid surfacing market is approximately £100 million, which is amongst the largest in Europe. It's currently growing at approximately 10% per annum, with the increased use for diverse applications. The current solid surface market is approximately 70% commercial and 30% residential. When solid surface first came to Europe, the main applications were for kitchen worktops, but now it's so much more. The possibilities of different applications is almost limitless with solid surface. Here's one to whet your appetite, which we will talk about later in the presentation. So, how is the product made? Non-solid colours are granulated to several different size particles that can be used to create granite and stone-like effects. These particles are then thoroughly mixed with complete accuracy and are prepared for reprocessing. The resin technology that is used has been developed to ensure that the particles are equally suspended throughout the thickness of the entire sheet. The sheets are then cured. We'll discuss this further in the next few slides. The content of the sheets is a product called aluminium trihydrate, of which there is 70% in the material. This is a waste product from the processing of bauxite and would otherwise go to landfill. This is then blended with an acrylic resin called PMMA. Then there are 2% pigments and crunchies. Those are the non-solid granulated colours, non-solid colours. Then there's 3% of binders, just to combine everything. So, what is the importance of even particulate distribution throughout the sheet? Here we have a simplistic diagram of the production process of Staron sheets. So there are two hoppers with acrylic resin and aluminium trihydrate, the raw materials. These are combined with pigments if it's just a plain colour, or pigments and crunchies if it's a stone effect or a granite effect, on a continuous casting line which passes through an oven and then a cooling unit. Once it's been cooled at that stage, it's cut across the width. Then it goes through another process of cutting where it's cut longitudinally, and then another cooling process before sanding. If it wasn't cooled before sanding, the sheets could warp. So it's sanded on the reverse, then it's turned over and sanded 3 times on the face. Then there's a quality check, then packing and shipping. The characteristics of solid surface are the ability to create inconspicuous joints where 2 sheets of material can be bonded together using a colour matched adhesive, and if the joint is prepared correctly, it's almost invisible. It's non-porous, subsequently it doesn't stain. If there are any marks on the surface, it's easily cleaned with conventional regular kitchen cleaning sprays. It's homogeneous. Because it's non-porous and because of its inconspicuous joints or seamless options, it is extremely hygienic and is used regularly in healthcare applications, dental environments, decontamination rooms, etc. It's very easy to maintain. It's easily cleaned. It can also be repaired if it's damaged, unlike any other surface material. Anything else that's damaged, be it laminate, solid wood, granite, quartz, stainless steel, once it's damaged, it's damaged. Solid surface can be repaired. It's thermoformable, meaning you can actually heat it and create curved shapes maybe a curved return on a domestic worktop to the ground, or curved reception counters, examples of which we will see later in the presentation. There are translucent options, so as previously stated, you can backlight panels, you can create really interesting designs, and it's also UV stable. Cleaning of acrylic solid surfacing. As I've already stated, it is completely non-porous, so subsequently, although it might look like there's a stain there, it's actually just on the surface. So surface marking like coffee, red wine, turmeric, curry powder, etc., then that should come off just with a mild detergent, mild kitchen detergent. Stubble marks, as you can see on the right hand side here, which was a primary school art room, and what we've done is shown a, if you like, a before and after. Both sinks were in the same sort of condition as the sink on the right. The sink on the left is purely and simply, we have used a mild abrasive, Barkeeper's Friend, which is a powdered cleaner, and or a cream cleaner like Sif would do the same, and subsequently the sink on the left looks like a brand new sink. If you get light scratches in the surface, a burgundy Scotch-Brite pad can be used. We offer one in the care and maintenance kit that we supply. Scotch-Brite pads are graded by their colour in a similar way that sandpaper is graded by its grit, and subsequently a burgundy Scotch-Brite is a polishing grade. And if you get deep scratches, the material can be resanded again, so that's another option. And further to that, if there was any other damage, if it was that it was an unfortunate situation that there was a crack, then a new piece of Staron can be inlaid into that area, the damaged area routed out and a new piece inlaid into it. No specialist tools are required to cut Staron sheets. It can be cut with conventional woodworking tools, just with the correct bits and blades. Panels can be machined using routers with tungsten carbide tip cutters, and components can be site finished with portable and hand tools for sanding, trimming, but you must have the correct extraction tools. It is a dusty product. As previously mentioned, inconspicuous seamless joints can be achieved by bonding Staron to itself with a colour matched adhesive. As the image shows here, blocks either side of the joint are glued using hot melt glue onto the back of the sheet. A large sash clamp there, and then individual clamps on each side of the blocks that have been stuck to the back. That clamps the joint together. Ideally, what needs to happen is the joint needs to be what we call mirror cut, where the two faces that are going to be adhered to each other are cut through with the same router blade at the same time. This gives you a very, very precise cut and helps with the inconspicuous joint. We supply matching adhesives for every decor. All joints, as I say, they're inconspicuous. We never say invisible because it is always down to the preparation of the joint. And all joints should be reinforced. So once this procedure has happened, then those blocks are removed, and you can either reinforce the joint all the way down, or prior to that you can put what we call cleats or biscuits in the sheet in between the two joints to support it. The fabrication of any acrylic solid surface should only be carried out by trained and approved fabricators. This is to initiate the warranty from the manufacturers, but also to protect the client and the fabricator and yourself with your specification, to ensure that the correct procedures are going to be adhered to. In addition to woodworking tools, the following will be needed: a plentiful supply of clamps to achieve a good joint, denatured alcohol for thorough cleaning of joints. Now this is very, very important. if denatured alcohol isn't used to prepare the joint before the adhesive is added, and also clean white lint-free cloths, there is a potential that the joints will discolour over a period of time. Random orbital sanders for finishing sanding on site. So the joints initially where there will be excess adhesive that will squeeze out of the joint, but also as a final finish for the whole surface. And again, as previously mentioned, efficient dust extraction. Thermoforming is the art of heating and shaping the product to virtually any shape. This allows you to create very dramatic curves, very interesting shapes. Three-dimensional shapes are possible. Acrylic solid surfacing provides the ultimate in thermoforming. This is why polyester solid surfacing has virtually disappeared from the marketplace. The material should be restrained during cooling to avoid distortion, but this is generally achieved by heating the sheet, putting it onto a mould or a dolly, and then vacuum forming it to it and allow it to cool in that shape. At present, the minimum forming radii ranges from 50 mm, but Staron are in the process of launching in certain decors a material that will have almost no minimum radii. You can literally form it back onto itself. Again, here these three images give an idea of some of the shapes and forms that can be achieved by thermoforming, where in the shoe shop you can see it looks like a ribbon that's been just continuously folded and moulded, a kitchen with a thermoformed worktop, and then a very interesting piece that we showed at 100% Design a few years ago, along with other items. The theme was very much animals, a killer whale kitchen island. So you've got two colours there merging into each other, and the form and the shape, as you can see, is very, very intricate. Again, more examples of thermoforming. So the heart-shaped wash hand basin, the spiky chaise lounge. Thankfully the spikes weren't made out of Staron, they were rubber. Then the owl speakers, so the whole thing's made with Staron, and then the eyes obviously are the speakers, which was attached to a very, very nice valve radio system. A few sensible precautions. Avoid placing oven hot pans, woks directly from a wok burner, etc. onto the surface. Use hob bars and trivets. Because you can heat and expand solid surface, it will flex initially, but it will only flex once, so you can cause problems, you can cause a stress fracture if you continually do that in the same spot. Lighter colours are best suited for worktops and high wear applications. And we would also recommend that chopping boards should be used when preparing food, not for hygiene's sakes, just so that you don't scratch the worktop. Many of the UK decors of Staron, stocked by Blackheath, have excellent fire certification, Euro Class B mainly. Great slip resistance, which is surprising when you think that it looks like a shiny, smooth product, but it gets used extensively for wet rooms, shower enclosures, stairs and steps. It's inert and non-toxic, so it emits no VOCs. It certifies with NSF 51 food safety certification, and it's bomb blast approved by the Ministry of Defence for airports, landside, so pre-security compliance. Certification is called ASIAD, and it's the only product at the moment on the market that has that certification. Here's the test certificate and the results. So as you can see, both 12mm and 6mm passed, The two 6mm panels are the ones that have deformed slightly, which is no surprise. The 12mm panel without a batten behind it in the middle hasn't deformed, and that was the one that was nearest to the point of detonation. So Staron has outperformed every other product on the ASIAD test. Now I'd like to show you some fabrication options that are available using this product. When you want to give the appearance that the product is thicker than it actually is, so above 12mm thick, the most conventional method is to create a downstand on the front face. And what you do is you machine into the top face or the flat face and put a rebate in there, obviously 12mm deep, and then 9 to 12mm deep, and then 3mm from the surface, and using colour matched adhesive, bonding the downstand into it and then sanding, you should be able to achieve a really good inconspicuous joint. If you want to create an integrated coved upstand, so from your work surface into either just an upstand or your splashback, you want it to look like one single piece, no joints, then that's generally done in 3 pieces, as is demonstrated here in this illustration. So you have your worktop, or your front side as we've called it here, your edge, which again is just cut from 12mm, but it's routed. So you've got 12mm and it's routed back so that it's inlaid by 3mm at the base, but it's the full 12mm thick at the back. And then your upstand, what we're calling a front side here, or a splashback. And the 3 items then are bonded together, again using the same colour matched adhesive, sanded, and it literally looks like everything has been carved from one product. Certain decors of Staron, where they have what we call veined, so the Supreme range, where it looks like granite or marble, or the Tempest range where it looks like a quartz, we recommend V-grooving corners, as you can see in this image. So you literally set your router to cut almost all the way through, and then you fold it into a complete mitre. This way then you can actually achieve the veining in particular to flow through the corner, so it doesn't look like there's been any break, and again it looks like it's been carved from one material. Unlike laminate, granite, quartz and solid timber worktops, solid surfacing can be repaired virtually without any trace. Scratches and marks can usually be polished out using mild abrasive powders, burgundy Scotch-Brite, or the product can be resanded. Inserts, i.e. cutouts that are used for hobs and sinks, which should be retained, can be used to replace damaged areas should you have the unfortunate situation that your product is scratched, cracked or burnt beyond normal repair. Open joints can also be repaired, where you can inlay a new section. Screws and bolts can be inserted but not directly into the solid surface, so it's normally into the support products, substrates, be that plywood, MDF, or specialist fixings can be inserted into the worktop, and then a bolt can be screwed directly into the solid surface. We offer various options when fitting sinks into solid surface. Generally, we supply mainly cast white sinks and bowls that are undermounted, seamlessly jointed and fitted into the worktop, giving you a hygienic, seamless, inconspicuous joint that has no traps, no gaps, and also we can offer sinks and bowls with no overflow, as an overflow for medical reasons and dental reasons is deemed as a bacteria trap, so we can supply them without an overflow, and subsequently this is where they get specified generally into the health sector. We can also offer colour match bowls for any decor in Staron. These are all bespoke and manufactured on a 5 to 6 week lead time, available in a range of shapes, as I say, in every decor, And we also offer, in most shapes, a stainless steel base. So should these be installed with a boiling water tap, there's no fear of stress fracture in the sink. Alternatively, we offer a range of stainless steel bowls which can be fitted and undermounted for that sort of application. Now we'll follow a number of sink options that we can supply. Here you will see a small selection of some of the sinks that we can offer. On the left you'll see some fabricated sinks, which are generally all colour matched, with or without a stainless steel base, so they can be full colour matched or with a stainless steel base, in every decor that we offer in Staron in the UK. To the right there is one example of the large selection of cast white sinks that we offer. Please, I will guide you to the website at the end of this presentation so you can see more. Here you'll see two bespoke sinks. One is in a recreational vehicle, camper van, so it has a cover, it's colour matched, so it gives you a full work surface, then you can remove the cover and you've got your sink to operate below that. The next one is a bespoke corner sink, not something that we offer off the shelf, but again it just gives an idea of what can be achieved with Staron. Because of the homogeneous nature of Staron and the fact that any colour can be bonded to another sheet, sheets can be fabricated with individual options by using inlay techniques, so you can have designs, writing, or just layers of colour merged with each other, offering the option of straight or curved lines, and as I say, you can put logos, etc. into it. The next slide will give you an idea of some of these. Here we see an interesting design where colours have been merged with one another, seamlessly jointed and integrated to produce a very, very interesting piece. On this slide we see on the left hand side a hospital reception desk which is showing thermoform corners, integrated angles, and a carved panel where it's illuminated and the practice's name is there clear to see. On the next slide we have a medical centre with an integrated bowl, and you can see there's no overflow on that bowl. Again, getting back to this situation with the hygiene and the potential for bacteria to grow and progress within an overflow. This slide shows two really good examples of thermoforming. So you've got the passenger train on the left hand side with the yellow tops, the curved white panel coming down the front, which is integrated with another material. So there's what looks like a real wood veneer wrapped around the front, and then to the right hand side a Sony store retail outlet in Poland, and again fully curved and integrated counter. On this slide we can see that Staron's being used in a completely waterproof environment to express its waterproof capabilities. Hygienic, completely seamless, easy to clean, perfect for a spa environment. Here we see Staron on the left hand side used in conjunction with real wood, again to give you that nice contrast, for a seamless bowl, a towel dispenser, a towel disposer, and on the right hand side then a freestanding shower plus a bath and a sink, all again completely made out of Staron in a high humidity area, a wet area, just showing the resilience of the material against other products. This is a really good example of what can be achieved by backlighting, but again expressing the thermoforming capabilities of the product and the seamlessness of the product. But this is just a very, very interesting hospital reception desk, just to give an idea of what can be achieved with carving the rear of the material and backlighting it. Staron is UV stable and has very, very little shrinkage or expansion in heat or extreme cold environments. It is the perfect product to be used for external facades. This is a good example of where it's been used, and also thermoformed, so it's not just a flat cladding, it's actually been thermoformed and curved around balcony areas. So, how can we help you bring your project to life? Meeting with a specification team member, myself, submission of drawings, ideally CAD file, but sketch often sufficient. We'll contact appropriate fabricators and we'll give you a selection. Meeting with a fabricator followed by a quotation. There is no average cost because every project is different and there is no M2 cost for this product. Everything is bespoke, so it's impossible to say this is what we might be, this will be a guideline. So we need to discuss the project in depth, and that's what we're here to do. Here we are then, I'm going to discuss that dinosaur I mentioned to you earlier. So the project was at the Natural History Museum in London for the Stegosaurus Display. The challenge: to create a plinth to support the armature and bones of the Stegosaurus found in Wyoming in 2003. It's believed to be over 150 million years old. The design was created by Paragon Design in York. It is the most complete Stegosaurus skeleton fossil in the world. The total weight is 900 kilograms, so the engineering of the plinth was crucial. A steel frame is used as a support. The plinth was contoured layers using 2 Staron decors machined with CNC technology, and the idea was that it looks like layers of the ground that have been excavated to reveal the dinosaur. It was assembled in Paragon's workshop and then dismantled and installed in the Natural History Museum. Also, all the information points that are around this display are encapsulated in Staron. Staron is a very sustainable product. 70% of the sheet content is made from what would otherwise have been a waste product. Maintenance is very low, and it's also repairable, unlike other materials. Sheets could be recycled at the end of lifespan, subject to logistics or transport costs. In most cases, the lifespan of the solid surface, though, exceeds that of other interior fittings in a building. So, to summarise, this CPD has covered the history of solid surfacing, where it started, how it was developed, why it was developed, then what it's made from and how it's manufactured, fabrication techniques, but we're finding new ones every day, cleaning or care and maintenance of the products, some sensible precautions, applications, much more to it than kitchen tops, but again, I say, we keep finding new applications every day. Project development and case studies, and sustainability. Should you require any further information, please don't hesitate to contact our office at panels@blackheathproducts.co.uk. Samples in a larger format, literature and other marketing materials are readily available from our sales office. Our literature includes a domestic brochure with images of full sheets for designers involved with accommodation, or a commercial brochure for specifiers into the commercial sector. We've now arrived at the end of the CPD presentation. I thank you for your interest and I hope you found it interesting. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me via our website or on Damon, that's DAMON .grant@blackheathproducts.co.uk. Thank you for your time again.